Hey guys, it's Cynthia. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just gonna be getting ready, even though it is 4 p.m. right now and I just woke up from a nap. But I might be taking a walk later, so may as well look a little bit nicer. Yesstyle also very generously sent me a few products to try out a little while back that I haven't gotten around to using, so I want to share with you guys my thoughts on them. I feel like in a lot of my more recent videos are definitely more informative, and a lot of times I'm not nearly as personable as I would like to be, nor do I talk about like anything else that's going on in my life, but I'd love to share. So today will be just like super chill. I'm just gonna be getting ready and talking about the products and also just some life updates, and yeah. Alright, so for my face, I'm actually gonna be using two foundations. I have the Moonshot Micro Correct Fit Foundation as well as the Cushion, so I have both of them in the shade Honey. Yeah, so I've only tried these foundations once so far and definitely want to give it a bit more of a try. So I'm actually going to do one half of my face with the Cushion and one half with the liquid foundation, and so you guys can hopefully see a difference or just see how it wears. I believe that both these foundations are meant to be a bit more full coverage, which is not what I go for on the regular. Usually I don't wear any face makeup, but I'm thinking maybe if I can like apply it in a thin layer, it'll still look really nice for my liking. I've always been really interested in Moonshot just because I think I've seen the ads with like Lisa from Blackpink using it and I've been very curious, so thought this was very kind of Yesstyle to send over. I'm very excited to give it a try. But yeah, so this is just what the Cushion looks like, and last time I used an older pad because I didn't want to ruin this one, but we're just gonna go in with this one now. Also, yeah, if you can hear that, that's the train. I've lived really close to a train station, which honestly keeps me from wanting to film videos a lot just because of how loud it is and how frequently it comes along. The Cushion is going on really nicely. I think one layer will be enough for me. My face definitely looks pretty pale right now compared to the rest of my body, but I did check online and I think this might actually be the darkest shade, just kind of because I'm not even that dark, and I'd really like to see a lot more like Korean and like Asian makeup products be a bit more, I guess, inclusive in their shade ranges. But in terms of the wear and finish, it looks pretty nice and it's going on really evenly and smoothly. And yeah, I only needed a tiny bit. I do look like a ghost though. I will try my best to even it out. But this side does look a lot more hydrated and glowy, so that's always nice. On the right half of my face, I'm gonna go in with the liquid foundation. So I'm just gonna pump a little bit on the back of my hand. I remember this one to be pretty thick, so I definitely don't want to go overboard with it, especially if it's just for half my face. But yeah, I guess in terms of life update, so I'm actually going to be moving within the next month at the end of August back home to Maryland. Yeah, so for those of you who are new or who don't know, so I'm originally from Maryland and I graduated last May from college, and I moved out here to the Bay Area in California for work full-time. But obviously with, you know, the global pandemic, a lot of things have changed, including my work, in that we have officially gone remote and will be staying remote for at least until the end of the year. I don't know, with that announcement that came about maybe like 3 months ago, I started really thinking about like whether I wanted to stay out here, because as I'm sure a lot of you might know, Bay Area slash like SF general area is pretty expensive to live in, and I definitely want to save some money where I can. Yeah, and I guess right now, since there's no real reason for me to have to stay out here, I thought about things and I think it would make sense for me to move back and live at home, which honestly feels a bit regressive, but given that I like don't see my family for most of the year, I think it'll be really nice. I also want to acknowledge that I'm definitely very privileged to have somewhere to go back to. Yeah, it's definitely a bit bittersweet. I get to see my family and have my dog again, but I'll definitely miss, like, you know, the freedom of being an adult on my own. But the good thing about being back home is that there will not be a train going by or like a plane flying over, because I also live close to an airport, or, you know, my neighbor starting his yard work at like 7 a.m, which also happens occasionally, and I think I'll be able to at least have a good night's sleep for once. So I finished up with foundation on my face and I think it's blended out really nicely. I honestly don't really see much of a difference between the two sides. So I think at the end of the day, if you're interested in these foundations, it's more so what you're application preference is. Like I mentioned, I think for myself, I think the cushion is really convenient, so I will probably be using that one more in the future. I will try now to make it look less white on my face by going in with like a contour stick to hopefully add some color back in. But yeah, how's everyone been doing so far? I hope everyone's been staying safe with everything that's going on and socially distancing. I think with the cases still rising right now, it's definitely a bit worrying. So I hope everyone is being cautious and aware. Wow, this is more than I thought I would do. And I'm just gonna go ahead and blend it in with a sponge. I feel like for myself, I've found that I'm actually pretty well suited for the quarantine life. I don't know, I definitely consider myself more of an introvert. If anyone cares, my Myers-Briggs is INFP, sometimes ENFP. The I and E switch depending on like what stage of life I'm at really, but yeah, so that's where I am. Even though I definitely miss like the in-person interactions, I have enjoyed this time, and I'm very lucky that my work is something that can be done remotely, because I know not everyone has that privilege. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely still been hard. I definitely miss people, but for me, it honestly has not been too hard of a transition. I've seen so many memes where it's like introverts being like, wait a second, this is my lifestyle. Even before quarantine, I'm kind of like, oh, that was a little bit like me. So not too bad about it, but obviously would really love for, you know, a vaccine to be created so we can go back to how things are before. For cheeks, I think I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of my Glossier Cloud Paint in the shade Storm. So just a little bit on my fingers and try and blend that out as naturally as I can. Alright, so now that the cheeks are done, I'm gonna go and do my eyes, starting with the brows. Yeah, I forgot what I was talking about, but I guess in terms of moving, I have like about a month left, and I've already bought my ticket because the procrastination was like starting to get to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, if I don't actually buy it now, it's just not gonna happen. And now I'm actually in the process of just trying to sell a lot of my furniture. Luckily, my roommates actually provided a lot of our like larger shared furniture, like our kitchen table and like all of those things. So my only furniture really was just like my bed and then like a chair I had, and like the biggest things were actually some bookcases. So I actually chose to share a room for my first year out here just because I wanted to save some more money, because I knew how expensive the Bay Area would be. Like, yeah, even though I'm like making money, first year out of school, I would definitely want to just kind of see what things are like and just like play it safe. But yeah, so my roommate and I, what we used to do, we actually would split our room, which was like the master, with a bunch of bookcases. So you can see behind me, this one, there's one more right here, and before there's one right here, but I sold it on Facebook Marketplace yesterday. So I'm kind of in the process of getting rid of these bigger things. But yeah, for anyone who ever wondered like what I was sitting in front of in like my past videos, it was a bookcase for my half room. Yeah, the rest of my things, I'm gonna do my best to pack into suitcases and just bring them all back home, because I considered getting a storage unit, but if I'm gonna be gone for like super long time, the cost of like the items I'd be storing would end up like being less valuable than the cost of the storage unit per month. So yeah, I'm just gonna do my best to sell everything and then pack as much as I can back, and then what I cannot fit, hopefully there's nothing, but what I cannot fit, I will drop off with some friends who kindly have agreed to let me use their place as a storage unit while I'm gone. As for my eyes, I already primed them, and I'm just gonna go in with a bronze cream shadow first as a base all over my eyelid. This is what I always do. I find it's just the easiest way to get any neutral eye look started. But yeah, have you guys picked up any quarantine hobbies? Anything like that? I don't know, I feel like a lot of people have mentioned this, but sometimes it does feel like it's a productivity contest just based off of what you see on social media and everything like that. But I think at the end of the day, like, if you pick up something new, that's great, and if you don't, that's fine. After all, we are in unprecedented times, so feel free to handle that however you want to. I think for myself, I do work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5-ish, so it can be a little bit harder to find time outside of work to want to pursue extra hobbies and things. A lot of times I don't have the energy anymore to do things, just because I think I've been so used to being cooped up inside like I said, I literally just woke up from a nap before filming this, and I think just in general I've just been pretty lethargic and I just don't always have it in me to go do lots of cool fun things. But one thing that I have gotten better at is cooking, because I don't feel comfortable going back to restaurants yet, even though I know a lot of them have started reopening. And since the start of quarantine, I've definitely been able to like incorporate new recipes into my regular mix of things and branch out from like my old boring like chicken and broccoli kind of meal prep life. So the eyeshadow I'm going to be using is from Alicia, and this was also sent to me from Yesstyle. This is just a really simple warm toned pan. There are 2 matte brownish red shades as well as 2 shimmery shades, and I'll start off by using the lighter brown shade and just putting that in my crease. Right now I'm in the phase of like trying to finish everything that's left in my freezer and fridge before I move. So my meals have definitely gotten less fancy, more creative in the sense of like, how do I incorporate all these random foods that are left into meals? And next I'll be going in with that deeper, more red toned shade and using that just to deepen up the outer part of the crease. But yeah, aside from that, I guess like, can I consider YouTube something that I've tried to pursue during quarantine? When things first started, I decided now might be a good time to like try and kickstart my channel again, because the last time I was like active was about like 2 years ago, back in 2018, when I was doing a lot more acne and Accutane focused videos, just because that's what was going on in my life. But I definitely kind of took a step back once I started school again, because it was just like a really stressful time. I'm going to be using one of the shimmery shades and just put that all over the center part of my lid. I don't know, YouTube is just like super saturated right now. Sometimes I'm like, why am I even doing this? Honestly, I still don't really know. But yeah, I was listening to a podcast earlier this week. It's from NPR's How I Built This, and I was listening to an older episode with the founders of Instagram. And at the end of the podcast, the host asked the founders a question that he always asks, which is like, how much of your success do you attribute to luck and how much of it do you attribute to just like your hard work? And one of the founders' responses really like made a lasting impression on me, for better or for worse, because he was saying like, oh, well, I think part of it definitely is luck, because everyone gets like a stroke of luck at some point in their life, and it's really just a matter of like, if you're smart enough to recognize that that's luck right there, and if you can capitalize on it and really make it like sustainable beyond just that lucky phase. And I was kind of like, dang, I don't know if that was a good explanation or not, but that really made me feel some type of way, because I was like, oh my gosh, like a part of me feels like in terms of YouTube, I think I got lucky like a few years ago, because some of my videos really took off when I had a more consistent audience. But I think at the time I did not recognize that, and especially coming back on 2 years later, I can definitely see like, I feel like that time has passed. But you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's only natural, and we live and we learn. And as of now, like, yeah, I still plan on like putting out videos and making this thing happen. And I don't know, after listening to that this week, it did really make me think, and I felt a little bit sad, but we're not gonna think about that. For my eyes next, I'm gonna go ahead and line them with some liquid liner, and I'm gonna be using another liner that I got from Yesstyle, and it's from the Onion Club. And it's just a really pigmented black brush tip liner. And I'm just gonna give myself a little bit of some inner highlight with my glitter liner. Usually I would finish off with mascara, but I really don't like getting mascara off my eyelashes, so I'm just gonna skip it for now. But you know, in any other setting, I would do something to my lashes. To finish off my face, I'm gonna go ahead and powder and add some highlight. And then to finish off my lips, I will be going in with this like warm toned lipstick. I think it'll pair really nicely with the eyes. Alright guys, so that's the finished look. By the way, I do have a middle part right now. Did anyone notice? Yeah, I usually only have side parts, but yeah, this is pretty much as adventurous as I've gotten with my quarantine hair. I've not cracked and chopped my hair or given myself bangs yet, even though I watch a lot of Brad Mondo's reaction videos all the time, so I'm very tempted, but I feel like that is not the move for me. So I'm trying to just, you know, I'll stick with this for now. But yeah, I'll have all the products that I used linked down below, and I'll have my Yesstyle code as well if you want 10% off the products that I showed you today. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit chattier, a little bit different from what I've done in the past, but I don't know, feel free to let me know if you enjoyed it, or even if you didn't, you know, that's fine too. But I really like being able to have more of a conversation. And if there's anything in particular that you'd like to see from me, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to make that happen and get some more ideas. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!